how long was he a prisoner of war in Japan?
It must have been about 4.5 years.
Thank you so much for having me round.
Always welcome, my darling.
Thank you. I'm really excited to speak about Uncle Don, who I remember fondly.
Yes.
Even just a little itty bitty bit, and learn a little bit more about his experience during the war, because from the little tidbits that I know,
yes,
it's such an incredible story, and the fact that I didn't even know that it had happened until we just ended up talking about it in conversation.
That's right.
And then obviously we've been planning to do something for VJ Day for a while, haven't we? So
yes.
Let's start with Uncle Don's real name. Tell me about why he was called like Don.
Well, Uncle Don was really Joseph Harry Brown.
Oh.
But Grandma was expecting another baby in 1918.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, he succumbed to the Spanish flu because it was just after the First World War.
Oh,
and
yes,
a lot of people died. And for some reason, he was going to be called Donald. But when he died, she found out she was expecting my dad, who was born in 1919.
Wow. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable, isn't it, when you think about it?
And somehow he just got the name Don.
Oh.
Even though he was christened Joseph Harry.
Wow, just kind of like as a memory to...
Yes, so
he never met that brother of his. And how old was Donald when he
I think he was about 18 months old.
Right.
He wasn't very old.
Oh, so like to keep the memory of the brother he never knew alive,
That's
he just
right.
became Don.
Yes.
Because that's all I knew him as.
But he was known as Joe in the army.
Oh, okay.
And he was also known as Topper. That was his nickname in the army.
Why Topper?
I don't know.
That's brilliant. And we'll call him Don, because that's how I knew him, and he knew me as Nugget, didn't he?
Yes, Nugget, yeah.
I used to love it when he called... Well, no, I do have... It's weird how distinct my memory of your dad is. I always remember him having a tartan blanket over his knees.
Yes.
And I think they were like dark green velvet slippers with his socks on, and just having a really warm, lovely presence. And I think I was just happy to exist around him, really. But we'll call him Don for the sake of this video. How old was he when he signed up for the war? And was that the first time he'd served in any capacity?
Yes. I don't think he was very old, because I can remember him telling me that he was in what they call the militia. That was in 1938. I think he had 1 or 2 birthdays, 21sts away from home and that sort of thing.
Oh, birthdays.
Yeah.
Serving in the war on the front line.
Yeah. He was in the 1st, 5th.
Yeah.
Sherwood Foresters. And of course, Dunkirk happened.
Yeah.
They were still in France.
Really?
And they had to march from the centre of France all the way down to a place called Saint-Nazaire.
They marched there?
Yes. Oh, yeah. But eventually he became a sergeant.
Did he?
Yes.
Wow.
And I think Grandma got about 6pence extra a week for that, because he had his wages paid to Grandma Brown.
Well, lucky Grandma, eh?
He was put on a boat called the Lancastria, and that had been a luxury liner going across the Atlantic.
Like a cruise liner?
Yes.
Wow.
And they took all the chandeliers out and everything, because it had become His Majesty's troop ship, HMT.
So they repurposed it for the war.
It did have another name, but I can't quite remember it. But they changed it because people couldn't pronounce it.
Well, when you first told me about it, I was struggling to pronounce the Lancastria, to be honest, because I think I kept calling it the Lancastria.
Yeah. There was thousands on it.
Wow.
I mean, 9,000 people. And then in the afternoon, the planes came over, the German planes. They dropped a bomb. They're not sure whether it went down the funnel or whether it hit the deck near the engine room. Dad was lucky because they were one of the last to get on the boat.
Right.
They were on the deck. But the people that had got on first, they were down in the ship.
Oh, gosh.
They were having a bath because it was a luxury liner at one time.
And they were making the most of the facilities that were there, yeah.
Something to eat because they got a galley and that sort of thing. They would have no chance because it just went straight through, blew the engine up, and the boat just did like a turtle. It went just like a turtle.
It turned upside down.
And it sank in 20 minutes. And they were just gone. But the Germans weren't satisfied with that. There was only so many lifeboats because there were civilians on board.
There were civilians as well?
Yes, women and children.
I mean, it's such an obvious reference, but I remember seeing the film Titanic when I was younger, and I remember the bits that used to really get me was the people who were below deck, and they were just lying on their bed, or they were putting the kids to sleep, or they were just like going about, maybe having a bubble bath or something, or they were in the dining car.
There was 2,000 and odd survivors out of all those. Some say it was 6,000. Some say it was 9,000 people on a ship that was only supposed to take 1,000 people. Oh. Some had got life jackets on, like Mae West things, the big bulky things.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Some couldn't swim.
Oh, that's awful.
Some jumped off, and when they hit the water, it would force the life jacket up and under the chin, so to break their neck. Oh. Because it's like hitting a concrete floor.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
How on earth did Uncle Don escape? How on earth did he survive that?
He knew he was a good swimmer. He'd learned to swim in the Nottingham Canal.
Oh, brilliant.
He knew that he'd got to get away from that ship because as it was going down, it makes like a vortex, and it sort of sucks you down.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
And then the Germans thought, well, this looks good fun. We'll open fire and...
Oh, no.
The survivors
And they did... So Uncle Don... So he jumps ship, quite literally, tries to swim away from it as much as possible. The Germans open fire on any stragglers they can find.
Yes.
Where does Uncle Don swim to? What does he swim to?
He just keeps swimming. And my dad was picked up by a boat. It was a cargo boat that was in the area. Oh. And he got on there.
Because I know that they call it, what is it, the hidden... They say it's a tragedy that wasn't really reported because am I aware that Churchill, because of Dunkirk, didn't want to lower the morale anymore? That's right. So the Lancastria wasn't really reported to the public? No.
It did come out, but not as we know it nowadays.
When you think of all the other things that were recorded and publicised, because I had never heard of it.
I mean, I've seen photographs of the men, and some of them have got no clothes on because they'd be downstairs in the baths and things like that. They were absolutely covered in oil. I mean, and that burns. It's horrible stuff.
Yeah. I can't believe Uncle Don is one of the very, very few survivors of
one of the 2,800, something like that.
And that is a devastating attack.
That is now called a war grave. And he did go back.
Did he?
Yes, he went with the Lancastria Society.
Oh, so what happened after that?
He came home.
Good, thank goodness.
I think they came to Portsmouth, I think. I think he was allowed home for a bit, not for long.
How long?
About a fortnight, something like that. Not much more than that. Then he had to go, he went from Liverpool by boat.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. After you've just been through all that, 2 weeks at home and then you're on a boat again.
Well, they didn't fly round in them days.
I don't know how that man ever went back on the water.
Everything was transported by boat. And then the balloon went up in Singapore. Oh. And he had to go to Singapore.
Okay.
And they fought there for a bit because the Japanese, they said they were waiting for them to come from the sea. They'd got guns pointing out to the sea. Oh, there's no way they're going to come any
from
other way.
Other direction.
They're coming by boat.
And we're waiting for them.
And we're waiting for them. We've got these guns that... Little did they know they were coming through the jungle on bicycles.
You're joking?
No. They're probably riding on a rally somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
You never know.
Through the jungle in Singapore.
And of course they had to surrender eventually, and they were all herded into Changi prison,
right.
Changi jail. And they had to sit out in the hot sun there and till the Japanese decided what they were going to do. Some were sent on boats to Japan to work in the mines, and some unfortunately were torpedoed by the Americans. A lot of them were sent onto the death railway, where they had to make a railway through the jungle, and there was a lot of Commonwealth soldiers there as well, Australians.
Oh,
yeah.
So not just British men?
Not just British, Indian. From the Commonwealth, Indians. But my dad was sent to an island off Singapore, and that was called Blakang Matai.
Blakang Matai.
Which means Island of the Dead. And they were having to build an airstrip there so the planes could land, load them with bombs and go.
Oh, I see.
But he always said he thought he was lucky because they'd got their own fresh water. So they didn't have a lot of dysentery or typhoid or anything like that. They had everything else, mind you.
Yeah.
I mean, Dad had numerous attacks of malaria.
Oh.
He had beriberi, which I think is a vitamin deficiency. Tropical ulcers, where you get ulcers on your legs and your feet.
Oh. That really anchors you, doesn't it? To say that he thought he was lucky because he went somewhere where there was at least fresh water. That's really that made my heart skip
and
a beat.
He had to, they had some men along with my dad, and they had to build a bath, a big concrete bath for the Japanese officers and soldiers. And they had to fill it with water and boil this water up with fires underneath, because they sat on little stools in the water, and they're scrumptiously clean, I should say.
Yes.
They'd scrub themselves, they'd look like lobsters. He says the water was that hot.
Right, a bit like a bathhouse like we know today.
Yes. That island now is called Sentosa.
Sentosa?
And it's like Disneyland.
No.
It is. It's like a tourist spot.
Oh gosh. Is there any nod to the history?
That means Island of Peace.
Island of Peace?
Yeah.
And what was the original meaning? Island of the
Death. Dad always wanted to go back.
Did he?
And I said, well, go, you can afford to go. And he says, I'm frightened. He says, I'm frightened to go because in case I get malaria again.
Oh.
And he never did go.
Did he not?
No. All he got was what they called a Jap nappy. It was like a piece of cloth that covered the privates and the bottoms.
Oh.
And it was just on a string.
I've seen this depicted in photographs.
That's all they had. And they used to make flip-flop things out of tyres.
Gosh. In the hot sun, that's all that covered them?
That's all they had. They hadn't got the food.
I was going to ask about what they...
Rice, a bowl of rice, plus weevils.
What's a weevil?
It's like a maggot.
Oh.
Not just one weevil.
Oh.
It'd be... Was
that intentional? Sorry, was that a delicacy, or were the maggots there?
No, they were in the rice.
Oh, no, I thought... Oh, I'm so silly. Yeah. I thought you meant like it was like a...
Mind you, he always used to say, well, it was protein.
Oh.
You worked all day. You eat your shoe if you could, I suppose. In a bowl about the size of half a coconut.
Oh, for an entire day's work.
Yeah. They were in long houses with leaf tops and just woven sides. And they had what they call a charpoy, a wooden bed. And
they would get up to work.
Yes.
Work all the day.
You could claim illness, but it's not very often they used to let you... If you were really ill, on the verge of passing away sort of thing, I think they'd leave you then.
Right.
But they used to die in the night. And as my dad used to say, a lot of them chucked the bundle in.
Oh, was that his reference for passing away?
They just died. They couldn't stand it anymore. A lot of them just gave up, in other words.
Is that what you used to say, chuck the bundle in, as in they kind of let themselves go?
Yeah, sad, isn't it?
Yeah, that is really sad.
I mean, these are young men. I think they really despised the British soldier because they surrendered and they couldn't get that.
Yes, I did do, I think it was when I went down a bit of a rabbit hole when we spoke about Uncle Don, and I was learning about the war, within Japan during World War II. And I know that some Japanese pilots would sacrifice themselves,
yes, exactly.
Things like that. So,
yes.
And from the legendary things you hear about the samurai.
Yes, that's right.
For them, surrender is sort of the utmost evil, isn't it?
It is.
It's something that they couldn't.
I think that's why they treated them so cruelly.
I was just about to say, do you think that's
because they were
fired the hatred?
Yes, yes, because they had given up.
I mean, I know Uncle Don didn't always speak about because there was. I think obviously he probably didn't want to bring it up again, did he? And so he buried it. But from the tidbits that you do know or you heard over the years growing up, what were the things that he was sort of subjected to that maybe really stuck in his mind?
Or beatings. They wouldn't spare you. They would hit you with a rifle butt, or they had a bamboo stick.
Like a cane.
Yes, yeah.
What would bring on a beating? What would you
if
have
you
done?
weren't working fast enough? When we were little, Mum used to get up on a Sunday morning and go downstairs and make breakfast, and we'd dive into bed with Dad, and he'd sing us songs and tell us all about his childhood. And then something had come out like, when I was in the prisoner of war camp, the train derailed, so they must have had a train to transport the bombs, and it had derailed off the thing, and the Japanese all said, "All men lift," as if you could just pick a train up and put it down. Yeah, all men lift.
Did they do it? Did they lift it?
Well, I think they did it with the help of good luck, ingenuity, and what's those things? Fulcrums.
Oh my!
Where you have a fulcrum to get it back onto. How big the train was, I've no idea.
Oh my gosh!
But we used to laugh. I mean, we used to laugh.
Well, it's going to be lost on you as kids, isn't it?
This is a letter, and that's some Japanese money that he brought back.
Oh my goodness!
When it was night time, he'd shout out. Yeah, you could hear him shout out. He says, "I was dreaming I was fighting a German."
Oh God!
He says, and he came at me with a knife.
Oh.
And I kicked out, and I've kicked the radiator.
Oh.
He says, "Look at me toe."
Oh no. It's crazy because I bet we don't even know the half of it.
No.
Because you think it's 4.5 years of his life.
Yeah.
And the lives of all the men. I mean, I wonder how many didn't make it. I wonder if he was friends with any of them that didn't make it. If he chatted to them at night. You think of the little moments like, what did he think about just before he fell asleep?
Yeah.
Did he chat to anybody? Were they there the next day when he woke up?
Did he think of his mum and dad?
Did he think of his mum? What did his mum used to say to him when...
Oh, be spick and span, my little man, and all the world will love you. Meaning that you must always keep tidy. And he was always like that. And he could never work indoors after that. He always had to have a job working outside.
Oh, he wanted to see the sky. No confinement.
If you went shopping with him, it was an absolute nightmare.
Why?
Because you'd be in the shop.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you'd be on your own. And you'd think, well, where's he gone?
And he gone outside?
He'd gone outside.
We are very pleased to say that we have been notified that your brother is a prisoner of war. As he is now known to be a prisoner, all correspondence concerning him will henceforth be dealt with by the Prisoners of War Department, Far East Section, 9 Park Place, St James's Street, London, SW1. If you will write to that address, you will be given whatever information is available regarding the arrangements made by the post office for sending letters to prisoners of war in the Far East. So it at least confirmed he was alive.
Yes.
But it also confirmed
that he was a
So
prisoner.
Auntie Eunice, was that his sister?
Yeah.
I wonder how they felt when they received this letter.
Relief, I would have thought.
Do you think it would have been overwhelming relief rather than...
that he's alive.
No,
We don't know
yes.
how he is, but
well,
he's
there's
alive.
hope, isn't there? There's hope when he's alive. As far as the rules were concerned, they were not allowed to write to home at all.
No.
And they were allowed 1 postcard a year under a certain amount of words.
If that.
Officially.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, if that, yeah.
So the Japanese had received
the parcels
from home for the men.
Yeah.
And they never got them.
No. And there's the cat badge that he had to wear.
Oh.
He had to wear that on a hat.
Oh, he wore it on a hat, did he?
Yes, on like a cloth hat.
So that was his number?
Yes.
Is it 132?
2, yeah. When they dropped it on Hiroshima, they made them dig trenches. They were going to kill them all. They had to dig their own grave. A mass grave on the island.
Oh my gosh.
And of course when they dropped it on Nagasaki...
Yes.
I think they got up one day and they'd just gone.
They'd just gone?
Yeah. But he never showed any hatred towards them here. I don't know whether he masked it or what, but he never... I mean, he used to say, oh, no, don't want to know anything about that.
Yeah, he just probably didn't want to
even think... They started to manufacture things and everything started to be made in Japan.
Of course, yes.
Of course, it was just overwhelming, really.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody will truly be able to appreciate what it would be like to dig your own grave. That actually made me tear up because that's just the stuff of nightmares. But the idea of just waking up one morning and they're just all gone. Uncle Don, I don't know what actually would have kept him going every day. I
think he got a very strong spirit. I think it was the thought of home kept him going. Dear Dad, at last, after 4 years of writing to you again, sorry for the break in the correspondence, but my hosts of the past 3.5 years did not cooperate very well.
Oh gosh. He had a good sense of humour.
Well, Dad, I want you to know that in spite of the fate that befell me in this war, my spirit is not broken. Try as the Japs did, they never succeeded with me. Although, at times, they went very close. The final fulfillment of all my dreams will be the day I arrive back home. What a glorious word home is. Be it a mansion or a humble cottage, it still meant the same to all our prisoners. Something to be treasured in our hearts, hoping and longing for a safe return to it. Why I'm quite bewildered. I just can't believe it's so. Perhaps I dwell too much in the past. My mind is still around the year 1941. To me, the period in between then and now is rather a closed book. It's quite a novelty learning what has happened. Well, folks, although we've aged somewhat, I guess we are all pretty much the same. I don't think you will notice any vast difference in myself. I'm still the same old Don, but perhaps not so boyish. I've received letters from everyone in the family now. In fact, of all of the ex-prisoners here, I've had the most, really. I am fortunate, aren't I?
Because was he one of 9?
Something like that, yeah. There was Francis, Beatty, Gertie, Lily, Ida.
Great names. Great names.
Must close now, Lily. Take care of yourself. Cheerio, Jack, Pop. Kiss Alan for me and keep smiling all. I will be with you soon. Lovingly, yours, Don. It's strange to see his writing.
Yes, I can imagine it is.
It is.
Someone's handwriting just is such a personal part of them, isn't it? It really says a lot about them, I think. Do you think he carried any resentment about what happened, or tried to just move past everything that he experienced?
I think when he first came out, I think it was awful for him. And he didn't like to talk about it much. But as he got older, it became softer, because Japan was everywhere.
So he always remembered it, and he always held it with great importance.
Yes. Yeah.
And he went to those...
He even got married on the 15th of February.
A date that was about to be the worst 4 years of his life became a date that became the rest of his life, which were the happiest years.
15th of February.
And what do you think he would have to say for the generations who maybe don't know certain nuances of history, like the Lancastria, like the significance of August 15th? What do you think he might have...
I think he'd pray to God that they never had to go through that. I mean, war's a terrible thing, isn't it, Hannah? I mean, you can't imagine Jack being called up.
Oh, no. These little... I mean, Uncle Don was part of two parts of history that it isn't as widely talked about as other areas. The Lancastria and being a prisoner of war in Japan and VJ Day in general. They kind of...
Well, you see...
There's no spotlight as much as there is on other parts.
We're allies now, aren't we?
Yes. I've been to Japan, and
they're lovely, lovely people, aren't they?
Incredibly so. I mean, they are so unbelievably polite. I mean, when I got lost, with the little Japanese that I did know at the time, was able to ask someone for directions, and this chap stopped what he was doing and walked in the opposite direction to where he was going, literally 10 minutes to make sure that I was delivered to the door of where I was going. Quick bow, and then off he went on his day. That's what the place felt like. Every person that I interacted with was so unbelievably accommodating.
Yeah.
I wish I'd known a little bit more about this part of history before I visited Japan, but no matter, because it wouldn't have made any difference to how I interacted with the people who live there today.
Well, they had sons, brothers and husbands killed.
Exactly.
I mean...
We all... Well, I say we, the royal we. They all suffered, didn't they?
Yes.
That's the point.
I mean, look how many people died when they did the atom bomb.
Exactly.
I mean, they were innocent people. They weren't soldiers.
They were, that's right. And, you know, I adore Japan and adore Japanese culture, and have done since I was... a young girl. And, for me to learn this side of history, it has been a little bit uncomfortable, to be perfectly honest. But as Uncle Don rightly said, it doesn't necessarily reflect the people who are living there today, and it's not their fault.
No.
And you know what? At the end of the day, if he can forgive them and not hold hate in his heart, then I think that's something that we should all adopt in everything we do in this life.
That's right.
And I'm just glad that you and I have sat here today and we have shone a spotlight on these parts of history that are sometimes a bit forgotten. We're remembering it. Now everybody at home will remember it, and hopefully we can all move forward in the way that all of those men did, where good riddance to the hatred and hopefully on to better things.
Yes. Quite well said. Well said, Hannah. As I look about me now, I know that life is sweet, and for those thousands of boys who gave theirs so readily, I can only say God bless.